This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the late night news on NDTV Hindu. I'm Anuradha Anant and these are the top headlines at this hour. Notorious criminals Dindagal Pandian and Gudvanjeri Velu killed in an encounter in Neelangarai.
Police had to return fire in self-defense. Both were injured. They were taken to the hospital. They've been declared dead.
Anbumani Ramdas's no more puffing diktat could have hurt Asal star Ajit, says Sarath Kumar.
I heard about Anbumani Ramdas saying that cigarette smoking and trying to tear off his banners.
Madras High Court orders Tamil Nadu government to provide food to Chengalpet refugee camp inmates following allegations of harassment. 2 drivers dead and over 35 passengers injured in a bus collision in Kadalur. Residents of Saukarpet complain of unclean, smelly water. Situation has been the same for over a year.
We are man or not, myself, I can't decide it.
The beautiful marina gets friendlier. Chennai Corporation opens water purifying plant for visitors. Dale Steyn blows away the famed Indian batting side in the Nagpur Test. India forced to follow on. Our top story today, a special encounter team of Chennai police today gunned down 2 notorious criminals at Neelangarai this afternoon. They were identified as Dindagal Pandi and Gudvanjeri Velu. Their bodies have now been taken to the Government General Hospital at Royapeta. The special team spotted them near Neelangarai and intercepted them in a bid to arrest them. Evading their arrest, the duo opened fire and hurled country bombs at the police, and in retaliation, the police encountered them. Dindagal Pandi was wanted in connection with 12 cases, including 5 for murder, kidnapping and extortion. A 9mm pistol and a sickle has been recovered from the spot, and forensic experts are gathering more evidence from the scene. This is the second encounter taking place in this year. The Commissioner of Police T. Rajendran spoke to the media soon after the incident.
ரொம்ப நாளாக ட்ராக் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க 3-4 மாசமாவே. இப்போ வந்து எங்களுக்கு தகவல் கிடைச்ச ஒரு 4-5 நாளைக்கு முன்னால் கோயம்புத்தூர் பக்கம் இருக்காங்கன்னு போய் அங்கே ட்ராக் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நேற்று நைட்டு ஈரோடு பக்கத்தில் ஒரு இடத்துல அவங்கள பிடிக்க போகும்போது அங்கேருந்து எஸ்கேப் ஆகிட்டாங்க. ஐ திங்க் ஒரு குரூப்பாக இருந்துட்டு சதறி போயிட்டாங்க. பட் இங்கே அடிக்கடி வந்துட்டு போயிட்டுருக்காங்கங்கிற தகவல் எங்களுக்கு இருந்தது சென்னையில். ஸோ இங்கே இன்ஃபார்மன்ஸும் இருந்தது. ஸோ இன்றைக்கி இங்கே ஒருத்தர் பார்க்க வர்றதா இருந்தது. இங்கே ஏதோ ஒரு ஆப்ரேஷனுக்காக பார்க்க வரதா இருந்தது. ஸோ அதுக்காக இங்கே டீம் போட்டு நீலாங்கரையில் வெயிட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருந்தோம். அந்த சைடில் வரோன்னு வந்தாங்க. சேஸ் பண்ணி வந்தோடனே இந்த லெஃப்ட்டில் டர்ன் பண்ணி இந்த சைடில் வந்துட்டாங்க. 3:20க்கு தே வாஸ் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் ஃபயருங்க. இது பண்ணிட்டு இன்டர்செப்ட் பண்ணி நிறுத்தின உடனே வெளியில் இறங்கி தே ஃபயர் சம் ரவுண்ட்ஸ் அட் த போலீஸ். Police had to return fire in self-defense. Both were injured. They were taken to the hospital. They've been declared dead.
We were earlier joined by our reporter Shabir Ahmad and human rights activist Henry Tiffane.
During Jayalalitha's regime in 2002 till 2006, there were 11 encounters which took place all across the city and across the state. There were 11 gangsters actually encountered, and after that, when the DMK regime when the DMK regime assumed charge in 2006, then they had toned down a little on encounters, and they were actually on a lookout for arresting criminals, and that was the strategy which the DMK government was maintaining. But after the encounter of Veeramani, Bankumar and Vellaravi, the encounters, the crime in the city really came down, and after that there was a sudden spurt in crime in the recent past, and after that the police decided to go on for an encounter, and that is when this Gudvanjeri Velu and Dindagal Pandi encounter took place. It is just a message to other anti-social elements to avoid and to stop their criminal activities inside the city. And police now and then do this because to maintain law and order in the state, there is the only thing they can go for is encounters, Anu.
Mr. Henry Tiffen is the Executive Director of People's Watch, and he joins us on the phone line from Madurai. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now, the National Human Rights Commission has asked all encounters to be investigated as murders. Now, can you tell us a little bit more on that?
Well, the National Human Rights Commission mandates the Director General of Police of every state to report twice a year, once in the month of January and once again in the month of July, about the encounters that are claimed to have taken place and mentioning exactly the crime number and the FAR registered against the police officers engaged in the encounter, so that a proper investigation may be made to ensure that this is not a case of murder but a genuine encounter. But this guidelines of the NHRC has not been followed in the past 20 cases of encounters that have taken place in Tamil Nadu since 2006, in which a total number of 23 persons have been killed.
Will your organization take up this case and go forward?
Well, in every case of encounter, we have intervened. And in this case, we challenged the Director General of Police to ensure that in the post-mortem of both these criminals who are alleged to have been shot down, that the dermal nitrate test to be carried out. The dermal nitrate test is the only conclusive evidence that both the parties were having, were using firearms, and that at the point of death, he died using firearms. I mean, this is the claim of the police, and the dermal nitrate test is the only conclusive evidence. I do hope that the police will ensure independence of the medical professionals carrying out the post-mortem to ensure that the dermal nitrate test is carried out. I also hope that the State Human Rights Commission, headed by a former Chief Justice of a High Court, has the courage, after so many years, at least in this case, to take a suo motu notice and to issue notice to the government of Tamil Nadu to ensure that the NHRC guidelines are followed.
Well, Mr. Henry, this is Shabir here. What reports are you getting from the ground level on this particular encounter?
Mr. Shabir, I heard you, Mr. Shabir, and I congratulate you because you have clearly said that encounters are meant to carry a message to the criminals in town. So these are murders that are committed only to convey messages to criminals in town. So it's a very clear case.
But my question is, sir, what details are you getting from the ground level on these encounters, sir?
These two people were not people who were killed in an encounter. They were taken into custody a few days ago. I mean, the wife of Dindigul person from Dindigul, Pandi, has testified already that he was taken into custody 2 days ago. So it is left up to the police to unravel the truth. The encounter version that this happened due to exchange of firearms is totally unbelievable unless it is going to be substantiated by a dermal nitrate test accompanying the postmortem.
But at the same point in time, they have a very, very dangerous criminal record, sir. How do you expect the police to deal with it?
I don't hold any brief for any criminals. Criminals have to be processed through the rule of law using the criminal justice administration system that we have. Let the DMK government come with good prosecutors. Let them stop appointing prosecutors who belong to their political party. Let us have qualitative criminal justice administration system working. I will be with them.
But still, there are only antisocial elements in the state. There are criminal activities.
In all the encounters in Maharashtra, in all the encounters in Gujarat, in all the encounters in Uttar Pradesh, my dear friend, what has been proved is that the police version of these encounters are wrong. CBI is charge-sheeting people, and all those who are there with called encounter specialists are now behind bars.
But these criminals have a very strong track record, sir. But
I only hope the Jangids of our Tamil Nadu will not have to land themselves in jails of this sort.
But they have deadly weapons with them, sir. But how do you expect? It's actually a matter of safety for the public.
I have no problem if it was a genuine encounter. If it is an encounter where, according to the version that I have just heard, it is the people, it is the accused alone who are killed. I have sufficient experience in Tamil Nadu to say that this is not an encounter. You call it a police killing, you call it an extrajudicial killing, I have no problems.
When we come back, we'll bring you the story on how the Marina Beach is getting friendlier.